So a few days ago, I did a video about why trans people are more likely to be murdered and be victims of violent crime, more so than the general population. One of the cases I mentioned was a mass shooting that killed 2 gay men as well as a trans woman. Trans people aren't the only people being killed for who they are. In 2019, people are still claiming they panicked when they found out someone was gay, and as a result, they killed them. It's an extension of the provocation defense. In law, provocation is when a person is considered to have committed a criminal act, at least in part, because of preceding acts that cause them to lose self-control. Someone who is provoked to murder is not seen as morally responsible to the same degree as someone who committed premeditated murder or killed out of pure malice. It doesn't mean they aren't guilty, but it's used as a mitigating factor to secure a lesser sentence. It's different than self-defense. Self-defense refers to protecting yourself from immediate danger, whereas provocation is a crime incited by previous events. It's typically proven by examining if an average person, if exposed to the same level of fear and violence, would have been able to react with reason or not. And this defense has been used many times by battered wives who killed their abusive husbands. When the gay panic defense is used, it's basically claiming that the victim's sexual orientation not only explains but excuses the violence they experienced. The gay panic defense, and that's panic in big quote marks, is when someone claims the violent act they did was caused by a sudden emotional response to unwanted homosexual advances. It's also known as the homosexual advance defense. This can also be extended towards trans people, and in that case, it's known as trans panic. In other words, the defense asks the jury to find that the victim's sexual orientation or gender was to blame for the perpetrator's violent reaction. The gay panic defense has been successfully used to downgrade first-degree murder charges to manslaughter. For example, Daniel Spencer was stabbed to death by his neighbor Robert Miller in September 2015. Miller claimed that he rejected a sexual advance from Spencer and acted in self-defense when Spencer became agitated, even though no physical evidence showed that he was ever in danger. Miller's conviction was mitigated from murder to criminally negligent manslaughter. Kent Bloor, an Australian lawyer who focuses on human rights, says, although the homosexual advance defense cannot be found anywhere in legislation, its entrenchment in case law gives it the force of law. These defenses are problematic for multiple reasons. Use of the gay panic defense promotes negative stereotypes about homosexuals as violent, sexual deviants, and sexual predators. The gay panic defense alleges that the sexual orientation of the victim alone is enough provocation for violent reaction. These defenses appeal to irrational fear and hatred of LGBT people. Successful use of the gay panic defense hinges on criminal justice bias in favor of heterosexuality. By fully or partially acquitting the perpetrators of crimes against LGBT victims, this defense implies that LGBT lives are worth less than others. Use of the gay panic defense, first and foremost, moves blame from the perpetrator to the victim. These types of arguments can no longer be used in Canada or New Zealand, and it's banned in some parts of Australia and the United States. But this isn't the case everywhere. Gay and trans panic defenses are still legal in most of the United States. Only 6 states have banned it at the time that I'm recording this video. 2 more states have rollouts of bans coming into place in the next few months. The LGBT bar urged the American Bar Association to approve a resolution to end this nonsense defense strategy. California was the first state to do so. The California Assembly Bill 2501 states that discovery of, knowledge about, or potential disclosure of the victim's actual or perceived gender, gender identity, gender expression, or sexual orientation does not by itself constitute sufficient provocation to justify a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter. It used to be that someone could claim they panicked when a gay man propositioned them or they realized they're about to have sex with someone who's trans. Now, they realize non-violent sexual advances of any kind, heterosexual or homosexual, cannot cause temporary insanity and therefore cannot be used to justify violence. But like I said, that's not everywhere. It's only in 6 to 8 states so far, depending on if you want to count the ones that are rolling out their bans in October. In 2018, Massachusetts Senator Edward Markey and Massachusetts Representative Joseph Kennedy III introduced bills into the House and Senate to ban the use of gay and trans panic defenses on a national level through an amendment to Title 18, which is the U.S. Federal Criminal Code. Both bills died in committee, which means the committee chairperson did not schedule the bill for a hearing, which blows my mind because Title 18 contains ridiculous stuff. Like, let's amend this, please. It contains a ban on wearing imitation military uniforms. Who knew? I do, because I read the entire Title 18 Criminal Code as research for this video. And guess what? It doesn't contain a ban on homophobic legal defenses. Don't wear those imitation military uniforms. The state of Montana versus Ford trial in 1996 are quoted as saying, "There will be on virtually every jury people who would find the lifestyle and sexual preferences of a homosexual or bisexual person offensive. Our criminal justice system must take the necessary precautions to ensure that people are convicted based on evidence of guilt, not on the basis of some inflammatory personal trait." Last month, another bill, the Gay and Trans Panic Defense Prohibition Act, was introduced to amend Title 18 to ban the gay and trans panic defenses. A line from that proposed bill reads, "To end the antiquated notion that LGBT lives are worth less than others, and to reflect modern understanding of LGBT individuals as equal citizens under law, gay and trans panic defenses must end. Please call your state and federal representatives and express your support for banning gay and trans panic defense." You can find your federal representative's contact info at house.gov and senate.gov, and you can find your state representative contact info at usa.gov and congress.gov. Please tell them you want to end gay panic and trans panic defenses. They're awful. My sources for this video were The New Yorker, UC Davis Law Review, Wikipedia, Jezebel, the LGBT Bar, crownlaw.qld.gov.au, congress.gov, in.gov, Vancouver Rape Relief and Women's Shelter, yourdictionary.com, usa.gov, ruleoflaw.org.au, pta.org, lowenthalhouse.gov, senate.gov, psychology.ucdavis.edu, williamsinstitute.law.ucla.edu, law.justia.com, and Southern Poverty Law Center. If you found this video to be helpful and informative, please hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.